So the next topic that we are going to see is computer environments. What are the different types of environments that we are going to have in a computer? So basically, if we take this environment, we'll be having two types. First one is something like traditional environment. Second one is web-based. This is what normally book says for us. The book says that there are two types of environment: traditional environment and web-based environment. And as I have said, few people are putting up their videos. Don't do that. Pranay, Aryan, Ritvik, Prithvi. Okay, don't put up the videos now because I want you to pay the attention, listen to the things. Fine. So when we come to the environments, we'll be having basically two things: traditional and web-based computing. This is what a book says exactly. Any book, any textbook that you take, this is what is going to say. So when we come to traditional, traditional means old methods of using the things. Then the new method is web-based, how the computers are going to be used in a web-based application. But if we take in general, there are different categories. Okay. So first we'll see what is this traditional and web-based, and we'll see in general what are the different categories of environments that we are going to have in a computer. Clear? Okay. So as I've said, traditional means it is a standalone computer. It is a normal. We can what we call is normal personal computers. What are the personal computers that we are having in a day-to-day time? Is what we call as traditional computers. Okay, so they'll be standalone computers. They'll be working on their own, and it can be wired, it can be wireless, it can be connected to internet. It should not be connected to internet. Okay, so there are various things. Normally, if you take a home personal computer, how it will be? Home PC will be used for general purpose computers. So that is what we can call it as a traditional normal computer. And if we take a web-based computer is nothing but the computers which are connected to internet, or what we call as web-based. So personal computers also can be web-based. Okay. So this is what normally what we read from the books, or what we read from the old ways of listening to the things. But when we come to the next assumptions or next type of things, next classification, how the things are going to be. So when we come to this traditional, it can, as I have said, it can be a normal computer which is connected to internet, or which is not connected to internet also. So yeah, basically it will be divided into two categories: client server computing and peer-to-peer computing. Client server computing is nothing but, suppose simple example I can tell you. If you take a computer, I'm connecting to internet. Now if you take the Zoom itself, from my computer I'm able to connect to internet. So that is what we called as client and server connection. Peer to peer means one to one connection. There cannot be more computers. Only one computer can be connected to one more computer. That is what we call it as peer to peer computer. Okay. So here we'll be having something called as shared hosting and dedicated hostings. Traditional computers. So what is shared hosting? Shared is nothing but one server can be shared by different people in client server computing. If you take one server can be shared by different people, like for example, if I want to host a domain, if I want to personally host a domain, so in that server other hostings also should have been there. Not only, suppose if we take a simple example of a college website. College website is hosted in one of the servers. So in that server other hostings also can be there. So there what is happening, all the hostings are shared in one server. That is what we call as shared hosting. Dedicated means it will be only for that purpose. It cannot be used for any other purpose. Normally dedicated, they will be used only for the bigger companies, multinational companies. They'll be going for dedicated hostings. So if we take this, This is how it is going to be. This is a normal computer which are connected, and when they're connected to internet, there is a complete model architecture of a traditional computing. So as I was saying that there'll be different classifications. Not only this, there'll be different classifications of the computers. That is based on the performance what we use in day to day. They'll be classified as following categories. Like what we have like a personal computer environment, time sharing environment, client server environment, distributed environment, cloud computing environment, and cluster computing environment. These are the computers are going to be classified. If you take the previous slide, what we have seen here is computer environments categories. We have basically two categories of computer environments: traditional computing and web-based computing. These are the categories that we are going to have in computer environments. But later, if you see, this is a classification of the computer environment. In computer environment, we'll be having so many things. We'll be having something like personal computers, time sharing computers, client server computers, distributed computers, cloud computing, and cluster computing. So if we come to the first category of something like personal computing, as I was saying, as I have said to everybody, personal computer can be treated as a normal computer which we use in our day to day, which we use every day, normally at our homes or workplace or wherever it may be. Those computers are what we call as personal computers. I'll try to show the screen also for that. See here. A personal computer is a general purpose computer, is a normal computer what we use every day. The size and capability of a personal computer is useful for all the users. Normal users, whoever is using a computer will be used like this. It can be a personal computer, can need not be a desktop. It can be a laptop also. Laptop also can be called as a personal computer. And it will be having some basic requirements of the hardware and software components. Minimum requirements like whatever processor or RAM or hard disk and all, those will be minimum. They'll not be up to maximum size. So those are what we call as personal computers. So if we take the computer environment, what all things can be called as a computer environment? It can be a mobile, it can be a laptop, it can be a tablet, it can be a desktop. Any device that we use for our day-to-day works is what we called as personal computers or normal computer environments. The difference between them is like a if you take a desktop or if you take a smartphone, the difference is they are what we call as all the devices is what we call as personal things. Like if you take a computer and laptop, then we'll call them as personal computer, personal laptop. If you take a phone, then we will call it as personal phone. But the thing is, they're all comes under category called traditional things, traditional environment devices. So as I've said, they'll be having basic things and they'll not be having any additional technologies. And it can be wired, it can be wireless also. Wireless, it can be either through Wi-Fi or to cellular networks. Like if we take the mobile devices, the most of the mobile devices are based on either Google Android software or Apple iOS software. So this is how the personal computers are going to be. Then coming to the next category, we have something like time sharing environment. Here, in time sharing environment, what we have, if you can see the diagram over here, here what is happening, I'm having terminal. Terminals are what we call as normal personal computers. They're all connected to something like a central computer. Okay, and this from this central computer, they are able to share the printer. Suppose I want to give a print. There, what is happening? Every computer is not attached to the printer. The printer is attached to the central computer, and storage is also attached to the central computer. And from suppose from this computer, from this particular computer, I want to give a print. So go to central computer. From there, it will go to the printer. So here, what is happening is the time is going to be saved over here. They are going to share the things. Normally, this type of environment is where we can see in the offices, Suppose if you take a computer lab in the college, that also comes under similar kind of categories, where all the computers are connected to server. From there, it will be connected to the printers. That is how the things are going to be. Clear? That is normal labs or whatever where we connect or what we call as time sharing environment computers. They where many users will be connected. Many users will be connected to a one printer or one server. Like this, time sharing environments are going to. Then next category is what we call as client server connection. Here, client server connection is nothing but almost same thing what we have in time sharing environment, but only difference here is going to be it is going to be connected in the form of a client and server. If we come to the previous example, all the computers are connected to a server directly, but here they are not directly connected. They are connected through a medium called as network. By using a network medium, they are being connected to the server. That is why they are called as client server environments. Even time sharing is also comes under some part of the time sharing also comes under client sharing environments. Okay, I hope everybody is able to follow these things. Fine. Then coming to the next category, we have something called as distributed computers. First, I'll show the diagram of the distributed computers. See here. Here, what is happening? These are all the normal computers. They're connected to a network of servers. In the previous thing, we had only one server. But here we are having many servers. Suppose simple example I can tell you for distributed. Okay, normally I'll be giving this example for centralized and distributed wherever I go. So here there suppose if you take a simple example of a known computer called as Google. In Google, what is happening? Suppose if I type information, if I ask for information, if I open Google and if I type, hardly within seconds I'll be able to get a n number of informations on particular topic. Right? How that is happening? Suppose if you take the Google server, everybody knows that Google server is from US. But is the data going to be so fast if it is coming from US? Do you think so? Definitely not. It cannot come in such a fast way. So what they'll be doing is they'll be maintaining the servers at different locations, not only at one place. Suppose for all the people of India, they'll maintain a server in India. For all the people of Europe, they'll maintain a server in Europe. For all the people in US, they'll maintain a server in US. Okay, so like this, different servers are maintained at different locations. India one server, Europe one server, US one server, Australia one server, like this. Now what happens? Suppose if I'm sending a mail, so from India I'm sending a mail to a person who is in US. So whatever mail I've sent from India, it has to go to Indian server first. Now where the mail has to reach, it has to reach the US because my friend is there in US, he has to reach the mail. So from Indian server, the data has to go to US server. So what is happening? The server which is there in India, the data has been copied to the server which is there in US. That is, whatever data, not only this mail, there will be some n number of mails. So all these mails have to be copied. So whatever data we have in Indian server has to be replicated into a US server. Same way it has to be replicated to server in Europe. Same way it has to be replicated to server in Australia. That is, what is happening is when they are maintaining the servers at different locations, all the servers have to internally copy the data, whatever they have in one server to another server. Then only they are efficient, we can call. So that is what is happening here. There are two servers here. In our example, we have taken 3 or 4 servers, but here in the slide there are 2 examples: server 1, server 2. So how many clients are connected? They are all connected to both the servers. That is, the person in server in India is also connected to server in US, and data is going to be replicated in both the servers. So that kind of environment is what we call as distributed client server environment. Other things, our previous one we have seen, there was only one server, that is called as centralized server environment. Clear? All are able to follow this? I hope everybody is able to follow this. Yes? No?
So
Okay, good. So next what we have is, we have two more things called as cloud computing environment. These are new things. Cloud computing is a new thing that is coming up. And we also have something like cluster computer environment. We have seen the cluster computers in the previous topics. Cluster computers. So it is almost same thing. First we will see this cloud computing environment. So when we come to this cloud computing environment here, here if we take the things, all the servers are going to be maintained in something called as cloud. Cloud computing is nothing but servers are not maintained on the clouds. Remember this. Don't assume that computers are maintained on the clouds, on the real-time clouds. Cloud means the servers are maintained in on the earth only, but they will be having huge data storage, huge processors, huge technologies. That is how the things are going to be maintained. Okay, so like a cloud, like how huge the cloud is, that much use the servers are going to be maintained. That is what is called as cloud computing environment. So same way how we have distributed servers, the servers are going to maintain the things in a cloud. That is huge data storage, huge processing speed, huge technologies. So here, normal users will be connected to the cloud service space. From there, it will be connected to the processors. That is how the cloud computing environment is configured. And next thing what we have is cluster computing environment. This is what we have seen in the previous class also, cluster computers. Huge number of computers are connected to servers. So here also you can see the same thing. All the computers are connected to the servers in between. Though you might feel that it is almost looking like a distributed only. What is the difference? There in distributed, what will happen is the data in one server has to be replicated to another server. Okay, but here it need not be so. It can be replicated, it need not be replicated. So this is a way of connecting a computers. That is why it is called as cluster computing environment. Clear? All are able to follow these things?